Khaotic was arrested for assaulting his girlfriend, Ericabanks. A story of fame, violence, and redemption. In the world of hip-hop and celebrity culture, where the limelight is both blinding and oppressive, the lives of musicians are typically under continual scrutiny. Every action, failure, and success in their musical careers and personal lives is magnified. The recent incident involving rapper Khaotic and his fiancée Ericabanks serves as a sharp reminder of the dark side of celebrity and the delicate nature of relationships in the public glare. On the night of the incident, it was reported that Khaotic, a rising star in the rap industry, had been arrested following a fight with his girlfriend Ericabanks. The stories described a violent conflict that left Ereica feeling unsettled and Khaotic facing significant legal repercussions. The media soon jumped on the story, but beyond the headlines and the excitement was a more complicated narrative, a story of celebrity, toxic relationships, and the hard path to forgiveness. The rise of Khaotic, from hardships to fame. Khaotic, who was born on the streets of Miami, was well acquainted with adversity. He grew up in a difficult environment where crime, poverty, and violence were rampant, and he utilized music as a way to escape from it. He rapidly gained the attention of local producers with his flair for storytelling through rap. Before long, he was producing tracks and building a fan base. He stands out from his contemporaries because of his one-of-a-kind combination of real street knowledge and catchy melodies. However, as his career began to flourish, the pressures of living in the public glare also increased. The pressures of popularity, including regular traveling, media appearances, and criticism on social media, began to have an impact. Khaotic was like many other artists in that their success brought both praise and difficulties. As his fame increased, his personal and professional connections became more and more difficult. Ericabanks, an emerging artist in her own right, was one of the people who was closest to him during this period. Ereica had already established a strong fan base prior to meeting Khaotic because to her unique voice and captivating demeanor. They met through friends they had in common, and there was no question that they had a strong connection. Initially, their connection seemed to be characterized by a sense of respect and adoration for one another. They both had a passion for music and were aware of the stress that comes with being in the public eye. However, as their connection developed, things started to fall apart. Their relationship started to become strained due to the pressure of their individual careers and the toxic dynamics that come with celebrity. What began as a relationship full of passion and intensity quickly devolved into a spiral of volatility and destruction. The night of the incident, an unsettling development. Khaotic and Ereica were both completely unprepared for the events that took place on the night of the tragedy. What began as a normal evening rapidly turned into something much more sinister. Sources close to the couple say that they had been experiencing increasing tension for several weeks. They had suffered as a result of arguments about jealousy, mistrust, and the heavy pressures of their occupations. That night, when everything changed, was a turning point. People who saw the incident said they heard loud yelling coming from the couple's home. Ereica was seen leaving the premises in a state of panic, and she seemed extremely distraught. Not long after that, the police showed up at the location. Khaotic was arrested, and Ereica was brought to a local hospital for examination. Although the specifics of the attack were not disclosed right away, it was evident that a significant event had taken place. Many people who had been following Khaotic's ascent to stardom were surprised by the arrest. He is a well-liked person in the hip-hop community, since he is known for being a rapper who is both street-smart and charming. The fans were unable to come to terms with the fact that the man they had looked up to was the same person who had been accused of committing such a horrible act, and they were left in amazement. Ereica was additionally traumatized by the experience, since she had to deal with the physical and mental consequences of the assault, as well as the public outcry that followed. The aftermath, legal repercussions, and public outrage. The word of the assault traveled rapidly in the days that followed the arrest. Fans, journalists, and critics all expressed their opinions on the subject on social media. Some people backed Khaotic, saying that the incident was caused by a heated argument that got out of hand. Others were less forgiving, denouncing him for his conduct and demanding justice for Ereica. Ereica, on the other hand, did not say anything about the problem and let her legal team take care of it. Despite the fact that it was obvious the experience had a significant impact on her, she continued to concentrate on her music career in public. She posted a message on Instagram for her followers that said, "No one deserves to feel unsafe in their own relationship. I'm taking the required steps to recover, and it is time for me to do so." Khaotic's legal team promptly released a statement expressing their remorse over the occurrence and stating that they were dedicated to resolving the situation in a manner that was equitable to both parties concerned. On the other hand, a lot of people believed that this response was insufficient and came too late. The rapper's arrest led to a larger discussion on the unhealthy nature of certain celebrity relationships and the importance of holding people in the entertainment business accountable for their actions. The media attention became more intense, with tabloids investigating Khaotic's past and Ereica's own history with relationships. Khaotic's career was left uncertain due to the immense pressure from the public eye. Is it possible for him to bounce back from this incident, or is his reputation and stardom forever damaged? Is there a pattern of abuse? Investigating the characteristics of toxic relationships. The event between Khaotic and ericabanks brought to light a more serious problem in the entertainment industry: the large number of toxic relationships, particularly among people who are always in the public eye. The pressures of fame, such as continual media attention, public expectations, and the obligations of maintaining a public image, can make existing problems in a relationship worse. This frequently leads to intense disputes, jealousy, and in some instances physical violence. Khaotic's case was not the only one of its kind, unfortunately. In recent years, there have been a number of high-profile incidences of domestic violence and abusive relationships that have made headlines. These cases have involved singers, actors, and athletes, among others. It is vital to avoid generalizing or stigmatizing the entire sector, but the frequency of these occurrences highlights the need for increased awareness and intervention. When it comes to toxic relationships in the entertainment business, the discussion usually focuses on the victims. These are the people who suffer in silence because they are afraid of the response from the public or the consequences for their careers that could happen if they speak up. Ericabanks, who is a successful artist in her own right, found herself in a situation where her work and personal safety were in conflict. After the incident, she had to deal with the difficulty of managing her public image while also dealing with her personal problems. Khaotic's path to atonement appeared to be uncertain. Although many fans were quick to show their support, others insisted that he be held responsible for his conduct. Could he rebuild his career? Is it possible for him to fix the harm that has been done to his reputation and personal life? And maybe most importantly, would he be able to learn from his mistakes and avoid making the same mistakes again in the future? Redemption and reflection, a way to move ahead. After the incident, Khaotic found himself at a crucial turning point in both his life and his career. The events that took place not only made his personal life public, but also compelled him to reflect on his own behavior and the decisions he had made. Khaotic recognized the seriousness of the situation and started attending counseling and anger management programs. His team made an official apology not only to Ereica, but also to his fans and supporters who felt let down by his behavior. Khaotic's path to atonement would be difficult and would require a significant amount of time. Rebuilding trust with Ereica and his audience was a difficult journey that was filled with obstacles. On the other hand, a lot of people think that real growth happens during times of self-reflection and transformation. For Khaotic, this may be the moment that changes everything in his life and career. It is the time when he faces his demons and learns how to improve himself, both for his own sake and for the sake of the people around him. Ericabanks continued to concentrate on her recovery. Even though she was no longer publicly linked with Khaotic, she continued to advance in her career by utilizing her music as a way to express herself and find relief. Her followers supported her as she faced the challenges that lay ahead, and there was no question that she was strong in the face of adversity. The story of Khaotic and Ericabanks is a reminder of how fragile relationships can be, especially when they are put under the strong pressure of celebrity. Although the world may be quick to judge and condemn, it is crucial to realize that true growth and repentance are attainable. Khaotic and Ereica will both be going on a journey of self-reflection and healing, and they hope that their future will be free from the poisonous dynamics that once defined their partnership. Ultimately, their narrative is not simply about an assault or a scandal. It is about the strength of resilience and the possibility of change, regardless of how challenging the journey may appear.